Hey, Shalom, Sister Kate here. Just give me a minute. I know I'm jerking around. I'll get my glove back on. I'm about to go down to my ducks, and I've got a jug of warm water for them. The biggest problem with off-grid living when the weather is like this is not for Pastor and I to keep warm. We have no problem keeping warm. As a matter of fact, when I walk down there and I do my chore, a lot of time I come back, I'm sweating, which is not good. You're supposed to, keep kind of an even thing and not sweat when it's really cold. I have gloves, I have this scarf, I have a scarf around my neck, hat on my head that covers my ears, and if I can extend this, it was frozen. My insulated Carhartt on, and then a really nice quality over jacket. It's really nice and warm, it's lined, it's quiet, and so I think today's high is 20 something. It's going down to 17 or less tonight, and I'm going to take care of the ducks. So here we are. The ducks are ready. I'm gonna lock them up. I'm gonna give them that water. I'm gonna go back into my little cottage. Now, a couple things to remember when you're out in the cold. I have these things called yak tracks. They just attach. They're basically huge rubber bands with wire wrapped around them, and they attach to the bottom of your shoes. And they're wonderful when things are icy. The last time I fell on the ice, I said, I'm not doing that again. I'm not going to break my hip. And that was like 15 years ago. Get my glove on again. I bought those yak tracks. They're like $20 a pair. No more falling. They grip really good. Now I don't have them on this minute because the shoes I have on have really good soles and they don't slip. See if I can show you. It's some kind of insulated boot I got at the farm store. But when you're out in the cold, you don't want to touch stuff like this. See that cold metal? You touch that with your nice warm skin, and just like if you lick something like that, your fingers can stick to it. And like even the material in my clothes, like my gloves were trying to stick to some of it when I was working around the house earlier today outside. I had to like yank my glove off. So the ducks are laying down. That helps them keep their feet warm, their bodies warm. And I'm gonna put the food in their pens. Their pens have a good 3 to 4 inches of straw at the bottom. They're messy, but you can see once they go in there, it's insulated for their feet and they can duck down in it. Ha! Duck, get it? And it helps them stay warmer. And so by giving them the food before they go to bed, that also helps them stay warm. All right, I'm going to get to that right now. Then maybe turn the camera on in a minute. I wanted to show you that I always have a little bucket of water in the coop with them, but I don't put a ton of water in it because I don't want it to spill and the straw to get really wet in here. I want it to stay mostly dry. I don't have a heater, I don't have electricity, so their water will freeze. So that's why I bring down the warm water to mix with what's in there, the little bit that's in there. And I tuck it down in the straw to kind of help it not tip over and also sort of be a little bit insulated. But I'm hoping instead of trying to eat all night long, they're sleeping, and then in the morning I come down and I've got more warm water for them. That's a little private area. This box got busted anyway, but it's a great shape for nesting. And so there are hens laying eggs down in there, and they bury them under the straw. This is the hoop house coop. It's a bit bigger than the other one. I made it afterwards. And this coop has, it's a broken kiddie pool that used to be one of the ponds for the ducks, but I hate to throw anything away, so I'm reusing it as a shelter for them. Piece of steel in the back to kind of keep the wind from blowing on them too hard. And then, woo, let me see if I can get my hand. There we go. That's a nesting box. It's a part of a cat box, kennel. And then in this corner is the other one. It's dirty on top because they hop on it. But you'll see there's all that straw. It's pretty dry. And then in this corner right here behind me is their bucket where I'll put that warm water. And I've got a couple of cups full of food for them too. There's also a shelter. See if I can get this right here. Behind that other broken pool and that piece of steel, there's a dry sheltered area there. And if you look up, this is the coop that I paneled with all those vinyl panels. So they have, you know, it can't just rain on them and so on. They have some shelter from the wind and everything. And of course, ducks are pretty hardy and they have feathers and everything else. So they praying, I'm hoping, I'm expecting them to be all right in this bad weather. So I'm going to take care of them and then head back down to the cottage. I just wanted to show you their pond is completely frozen over. Let's see, that container right there has water for the ducks in it. It's frozen. And up by their shed, those black, see if I can, well, there we go, black barrels have water in it for them also. And they're pretty much frozen solid. And it's not the cold, it's not as cold as it's going to get. So we'll just see how we're going to fare on this. But off-grid life is not easy. You have a lot to think about, a lot to try to take care of. And already in my mind, I'm planning better water containers for situations like this that maybe I'll do a video on later after I think about it a little while. All right, y'all, stay warm. If you're a prepper, if you're a crew member, here, I'll peek out just for a minute. I imagine you're not real worried about what's coming down the pike. You're ready. You've been stocking up. You've got your alternative heating and all that. So just stay tucked in until this is over and then get ready for spring planting. All right, bless y'all. Shalom.